You get to choose what to do with those leads from the list below. I know I typed, by the way, in the yellow. You can choose what we do with your leads from the list below. That's because some of you guys are going to want us to do the work. And some of you guys are going to want to do it yourself. It's fine either way. Okay. But let's take a look at this list, okay? We, or you, can automatically email them in real time to thank them for their visit, right? Like literally, you can have an email arrive in their email, even if they're still on your website, thanking them for their visit to your website, asking how you can be of assistance. If they found what they were looking for, give you a call anytime. You can help them with their best option. By the way, here's a link to your coupon. You can do that. And in the US, it's legal. I'll get to this stuff soon. But what else can you do? You could do a different approach. You could reach out to them coincidentally to recommend your website. You could do it in a different way. So you could literally have a second website, like we have thousands of websites. So we have partner websites, affiliate websites, fan-based websites, referrer websites that all can contact your leads on your behalf and recommend you. Okay? And we'll just, say you're selling RVs and somebody visited your website and they're not buying one, they haven't called you, they haven't chosen to yet. They can get an email from us, say, hey, if you're looking for an RV these days, we recommend somebody in your area. This is the guy that you should talk to. And we'll just, send that. It's okay. So you could add them to your email list as a single opt-in and email them naturally. By the way, that's one point. I'll get to that more, but that's this. In the US, as long as you have a privacy or terms link in the footer of your website that just has a link and you add a simple paragraph to that page that says what you do about the cookie policy. It says, I or our partners might reach out to you. Then the reality check is in the US. If somebody living in the US visits your website, they are a single opt-in. It's as though you go to the farmer market and you walk by somebody's table and you kind of look down at what they have. Maybe their, tomatoes and their cucumbers and their squash and their eggplant. And somebody says, hi, our tomatoes are really good today. And they hold one up and show it to you. They're reaching out and talking to you because you made the first move. You stepped up to them, their table. Now, the same person who shows you the tomato and says that they have fresh tomatoes is not going to go to your neighborhood and knock on your door to offer you the tomatoes. Okay? That's kind of how spam is. Spam is uninvited, unintended. There's no relationship there at all. There's no reason that you have for offering them a tomato. You have no reason to believe that they are interested in your tomatoes. Maybe they're allergic to tomatoes. So that's why nobody goes through the neighborhoods offering it from the farmer market. But when you walk up to their stand at the farmer market, they can try to engage you. And even after you start to walk away, they can try to reach back out to you. They might call a little to see if they can get you back, right? Now, they're not going to scream at you. But if you walk further away, check some other stuff out. And then when you're walking back through, if they recognize you, they might say, oh, by the way, don't forget, we have really fresh tomatoes. You walk by the other way, right? That's perfectly legitimate. So just keeping that in mind. All right. Now, you could also do what? You could take the information that you're getting for the types of people who visit your website, and you can use that to create a custom audience, a lookalike audience for your Facebook ads. So if you upload a stack of emails, you're telling Facebook this, hey, don't contact these guys, but anytime you see anyone who has similar interests to the average interest from this list I'm uploading, okay, if they're looking for something like what I do, right, then reach out. If they're in my area or if it's nationwide, if they're interested in what I'm doing, if they're looking at dental, anything, and they're in my area, reach out to them. And that means not the guys who came to your website, not those emails, but anyone on Facebook who's similar to them. What's that mean? Facebook knows so much about everyone based on what they thumb up and what they thumb down, what they flip past and what they fully watch or partially watch, right? Facebook puts scores on what people are interested in. Now, all websites do that. They track, Even when you scroll down on a web page, there are code snippets that allow people to capture that information of who scrolls to where and stops, so that they can be labeled as interested in X, Y, or Z. Okay, and those combinations are used to build what people are interested in right now. Okay, so you can trigger an ad to show for those guys right away, or guys like them, because there are a bunch of other guys who are thumbing things up the same way, thumbing things down the same way, stopping on the same types of ads. Okay, so that means this: even if you're just capturing the emails on your website to reach out through Facebook ads to average people like them, you can do that with your leads. Okay, totally different concept of what you can do with your leads. Okay, you could sell or share those leads with your partners, your affiliates, or marketers in general, right? Leads are worth a lot, especially when they're incredibly fresh. So if you just set up some deals with some partners and say, hey, anybody who comes to my website, I capture their information, they leave, they don't join my thing, I'll sell you that lead, for $30, right? $25, $40. It depends. Every industry is different. Pest control. Those guys usually will pay like $25 on the spot for a lead. If somebody has a mouse infestation right now in their house, you see a mouse run through the kitchen right now, especially a lady. I'm just having fun with it. If that's true, that the mouse runs through the house and they are interested in calling a pest control guy right away, and you can't do it, you're a pest control guy, but you're busy, you could sell that lead to another pest control guy who can engage him, reach out to him and say, hey, right? Another pest control guy would pay $25 for that referral, right? Well, what do you think leads like this are worth to other companies in your area? So even if you're just in the business of gathering leads this way, all right, you could send these leads to your sales team so that they can call those prospects now. Say you're in real estate, right? Then you can actually give these leads to the real estate agents who call those prospects now, right? And they will. Any blip on the radar screen, and those guys will take off with it. They'll call and talk coincidentally about, hey, are you in the market to buy a home? Have you been looking at buying a home recently? They'll literally just check, okay? Now, I've had some people say, that must be annoying. The answer is, of course it's not. First of all, it's just the one guy who's calling them, not 5, not 10. You're not selling the leads to 5 or 10 people. You're giving them to the one guy who's going to be assigned that lead, or you're reaching out to the one guy yourself, okay? But you can stagger when you contact them, and you're not giving anyone else access except whoever you chose to give access to, right? So think about this. How annoying would it be? Well, you may have done this before. Have you ever called one of those or landed on a website and said, hey, I'm looking to buy a car. I don't know which dealership has a car like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, who knows, an SUV, seats 5 people. I want leather, don't really want vinyl. Hope it has a 6 CD disc changer, and you put your stipulations. It can be anywhere from 15,000 to 50,000 miles on the odometer. We can talk at that point. My price point is somewhere between here and here. Okay, and so you fill the form out, right? And what happens? Immediately you get some calls from guys who say, hey, you know what? We have what you're looking for at our lot. You know what? Those calls are great, aren't they? It speaks of promise. It's speaking of what you're looking for. It's like the rainbow, right? Just came out. When you get 2 or 3 guys that call and say, yeah, I've got a Honda CRV that fits your description. I got a Toyota RAV that fits your description, or whatever it is. And you're thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. Then you know how it goes. Those 2 or 3 stops you're going to make, you were happy they contacted you. And you're probably going to come home with a car that day. Because you know how auto dealerships are for getting you sold into one. It happens pretty quick, right? Now what? What if somebody called you the next day? That's different, isn't it? That's really, really different. They call you the next day, and mostly you just feel sad for them, right? Like, oh, you should talk to whoever's giving you the leads. You're late. I mean, I bought a car yesterday. All I can say is sorry. Sorry. And you'd be just thinking, oh, you poor guy, right? Well, what if a guy called you a day or 2 after that? Then you'd be thinking, hey, you know what? That's kind of irritating. I'm not looking for a car. I got a car like eons ago, Monday. So timeliness has everything to do with profitability. When you can contact guys as fast as they come and take a look and they're thinking about you, right? That is important. So whether you take the lead on or you give the lead to a sales team member or you sell the lead instantly to somebody else, they're buying leads from you, because you can set up a simple program and say, hey, you'll just pay by the week for every lead that I get into your your newsletter, right? That contacts them on your behalf. And yes, we can set that up for anyone. We can set that up for you. Okay. So you get to be the king, right? You get to be the king. Oh, by the way, I had somebody ask, and yes, think about it this way. What if you have a franchise nationwide? I'm going to go that far. And you have a downline that handles nationwide sales, or they handle sales in their own areas or whatever. Take the emails that you're picking up from your Facebook ads, and you can do two things, or that you're picking up, you can do two things with them for sure. You can give a copy to each of your franchisees. You can even put the code snippet on all their sites to capture on their behalves. And also, you can take all the emails you're getting from all those sites and put them up through the Facebook ads and give that same list to each of those guys and tell them to put it in their own Facebook ads, right? So that all your guys can have their ads popping up over and over again. You get a lot of branding, a lot of recognition out of this on big platforms like Facebook, like LinkedIn, like whoever else allows look-alike audiences based on emails. See the value in that? All right, so we have the power to make your website 3 times more profitable in the coming week. Because the moment you install our coding snippet and we get you set up, then boom, right then and there, we're capturing email addresses in real time. This is literally overnight, okay? So what you're going to do with those guys is up to you. Now, we're going to talk about that as we go. So let's recap first. You add an invisible code snippet to your site. We can have your leads automatically added into an autoresponder that will contact them on your behalf in real time. And we'll send them your best offer or your welcome message, right? So we'll set this thing up. You can see how fast this gets set up. You're just talking about a couple of days, like 3 days totally, right? Get this code snippet. We'll set up the autoresponder. This will happen overnight. You just write something up as a quick little quip to offer to people who first come to your site. Then you're basically just telling us if you want that, to come like it's straight through you or coincidentally, but it's up to you. You can make those notes when you send us a message. Some of those visitors are going to come back to your website to call, email, or buy from you. That's it. That's how you get a lot more profitable. See, those first 3 things here, you do it once. And then day after day after day after day after day, okay, some of those visitors, each day, all those extra visitors are coming back to your website to call, email, or buy from you. This is how you make your website a lot more profitable with the exact same traffic curves. So this is how you'll get more sales with no extra work. The same 3% who come each day buy from you anyway. But for the 97% remainder, we can identify some of them, not all of them, right? But probably 25 to 30% of them. 30% instead of just 3% is 10 times your leads instantly. Those leads are instantly added into our autoresponder. And your best offer, your welcome message is sent to them right away, right? Pitching you. 40 to 50% can come back to your website, and some of those guys are going to convert. This is how you can make 3 times the profits with no extra work. Okay? Call it tweaking for perfection. Instead of trying to make lots of changes to your website to hopefully get more leads to respond, what if you already capture their contact info and you can preemptively contact them anyway? If all you have to do is just work on perfecting your welcome message because you already capture those leads, wouldn't it be easy to improve your conversions? Definitely. It's why all the big companies are doing it. It's why they built that massive nationwide database in the first place that systems can plug into, develop scripts from through APIs, and start setting them up. And this is what we're offering you, which is not usually being offered to you by those big companies. They don't want you to know